can listen, yeah. Things that we sharpen our vision, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Negativity getting out the way. By listening to us that we bring life, yeah. Plus it's got the voice of an angel, yeah. Dr. OJ, visionary, extraordinary. That burning like giving joy to the helpless. Oh, yes. With the team bringing life to the dream. That's all we, yeah. Ruby, and Sammy, and she's, oh yeah. Transforming one life at a time. With the best voice that you have. Dr. OJ, keep on speaking, speaking for us. You're the voice you want to hear. You have the positivity. Dr. OJ, keep on speaking, speaking for us. Dr. OJ, visionary, extraordinary.
Miss Shell, she is a mental health practitioner. She's a nurse practitioner. She's a coach. She does a whole lot of things, but she brings the fire down. And she's very, very big on real talk when it comes to relationships. And of course, her background, you guys are going to get to learn who she is and get to see everything that makes her very special to be on this panel tonight. So give it up for Michelle. All the way from Houston, by the way. And of course, introducing, when I just saw, even though Pastor Precious was in Houston, I didn't know he was here. I would have been stalking him, and I would come to your house, and I would be like, Pastor Precious, oh, you open the door. That's good. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Pastor Precious. Amazing, amazing. He's one famous. Some people saw me in this place, all Texas, like, is that Pastor Precious? I said, where do you know him from? I said, where do you know him from? All of you people used to be fans in everybody. I know you. I said, okay. Yeah. And of course, without much introduction needed, the one and only Rascal Pastor, the rascality of all the rascals, the one that God uses. You know, they say, I heard someone talking about the fact that he thought that you had to be really all together, you had to be very excellent for God to use you. But he realized that you don't have to be all of those things. But God will still use you to do his work. And that is Pastor Shola. I have known this man for many, many, many years. And of course, I'm so glad that full circle here today, side by side, Pastor Dr. Shola Adeyemi, the one and only marriage therapist, counselor, relationship, Glasgow's pastor. He used to give it to them back to back to back. And everybody absolutely loves it for that. So welcome, and we're about to get started. Let me get one more mic, and I'm going to pass this over. Let's get started.
And
to bring people together purposefully. So yeah, why are we having this problem? Anyone can take that first.
Well, first of all, we have equal number of women today. Equal. If you go on Google right now, you will see that we have 100 to 101 men now. Just only one more than women. So the ratio is 1 to 1. Check it. If you have your phone there, please Google it. You'll see if I'm lying or not. Try it. Just Google it.
That's not what we're told, right?
No, just Google it. Just Google it.
How we told that?
You see, I've been telling you guys Nigerians, we get food, they don't. All our pastors speaking English, they don't know jack. Search it. Search it and tell me maybe I'm lying. I'm gonna wait. Can you just say it? You see what I'm saying? Alright. Now the problem with us is this. Leave that one alone. You see, now the issue is this. Your husband may not be a Nigerian. And your husband may not be a Yoruba man. The problem with us is that, oh, my grandmother said I must marry from Ijebu. And that's why people are single today. Do you know how many people have been approached by a white guy and they've turned him down? And they're still praying. What God cannot do does not exist. It's not going to happen. No. I just love to talk. I love to say the truth. Let's stop fooling each other. Alright, when God is bringing His will, now see, listen. If you don't want the will of God, don't pray for it. The will of God may be a Chinese man. It is your will that is a grammar. That's your own will. If you say, God, bring your will you accept the will of God? That's what it is. Now, secondly, majority of our boys are in prison because women are not doing a good job raising those boys. I was telling Sean today, majority of our boys are sissies. A boy will be crying. Somebody just beat you and a boy crying. A 25-year-old boy crying. I punched my son. I went to my children. I punched this boy. I said, are you afraid of anything? He said, no, son. I said, can anything scare you? He said, no, son. I said, you see, this your daddy. I was a cop guy when I was young. It's good for you to live on the street to balance up your life. Academics alone cannot help you.
But Dr. Shola, if you say that,
yes,
are we raising men now to say men don't cry? And the rate of mental health breakdown that men are facing, depression, suicide, it's gone up.
Yeah.
So won't that school of thought push men to the extreme of saying men don't cry?
No. These are men that don't keep things inside. These are men that call. A lot of men do call me. Formerly, the belief that Dr. Shola is always supporting women. But see, what I'm doing is I'm actually trying to buy peace on men by studying women to know them well. And then I'll teach men the secret how you can take care of your wife and you have peace. Majority of them will call me. Once they call, they get help. Once they hide, then they die. We need to teach our young boys, when you're going through issues, speak out. It doesn't matter if you're a man. Say something. Look for someone to talk to. Majority of our men will go and sit down somewhere and be thinking inside. I just had an accident recently, like about 4 or 5 weeks ago. The car gone. I came out. God just broke me alive. Out of that particular stuff.
Thank God for that.
I started going through PTSD. That when I close my eyes, I always see that scene of the accident. Ask her, how many times have I reached out to you? All the time. I didn't say, oh, why will I talk to somebody? No. I speak out so I can be helped. Because I'm a man doesn't mean I cannot cry. But I'm not going to cry because a woman slapped me. I'm not crying because a woman is in my house yelling at me. I'm a man. I'm the leader of the home. If I cry, my son will cry. I show my son how to be a man. Once, you see my wife, when I got married to my wife, every time something happened, I'll call my mom. My mom will call my wife and mess her up. She'll tell my mom, we didn't fight. We are only doing marriage. I'll look and say, I can't see it now. Second time I called. Third time I called. Fourth time I told myself, I'm not calling my mom again. 32 years ago, till today, I've never invited anybody to come to my house to settle quarrels. I know how to prostrate when I'm wrong. I've been able to learn to apologize when I'm wrong. And that is why I'm still married today. I don't use ego when I'm wrong. I come to her in the secret place. Any young person who wants to get married, don't marry anyone you cannot prostrate to. Don't marry anybody you cannot say sorry to. Ego can't run marriage. The only thing that will run marriage is understanding and wisdom. When I do something crazy, I take my wife into the bedroom. That's where nobody's watching. I say, Mama, I'm sorry. By the time I'm going down, she's picking me up. And she's crying with me. And she's saying, don't worry, I'll forgive you. I say, I get. But when I stand up from there and I come outside, guess who is kneeling down to me? She. Where? Outside, where everybody is looking. People will say, oh, Dr. Shola, you know how to hold this. I say, I don't know nothing. I just know how to handle the secret place. So, boys need to learn, number one, to suppress and control ego. That's awesome. Number two, once you control ego, you're going to be able to talk to somebody when you need help. I need help. Please help me. Do you know how many young men are suffering today? Ask him. The first day I saw pastor, I have been a pastor on social media, big name, but empty pockets. I was in his car, and he was taking me, and people were calling him, Pastor, thank you for the job. I just got the job. What did I say? I said, Papa, I need job too. He laughed. He said, Almighty Dr. Sola. I said, now only me. Pocket is empty. Teach me all. This is him. I'm older than him. Ask him how old he is. I'll tell you how I'm 57. And I said, sir, teach me all. And then he taught me. 1 hour. Then I got the first job. Then I got the second job. And now you know who is teaching others? Me. And when I do it with great authority. He taught me. You know how much money I'm making right now just training alone on that same thing he taught me? A lot. But I didn't keep quiet. As a man, we don't use ego. Knock your ego out. You will suffer if you are proud and using ego. So for a man to be able to make it, ego is needed in a man's life. But it's supposed to give a spirit-controlled ego. That you could paint it. You could suppress it. It is not every time you are right as a man. Once you are wrong, admit I'm wrong. A man is not always the leader leading in the front. A man can lead on the side and at the back. When your wife is more knowledgeable, when your girlfriend is more knowledgeable, push her forward. Let her go get the goals. These days, I'm not going to lie to you, women are making more money than men. And why? Because women are afraid of divorce. They're seeing single mothers all around. So they are looking for a way to actually make themselves to be independent so that they will not look to the hand of anybody for money. And they're going to school all the way, becoming IT specialists, IT auditors, and all kinds of stuff. And they are making 6 figures salary. And you see one funny thing. And I will say this, and I want anybody to be angry. A lot of our men is audio 6-figure salary. Nigerian women are more powerful now. They are educated right now. They are making a lot of money right now. Then the ego we are talking about men has been transferred to women. That they don't know exactly what they want. See, I've been doing singles comedy, right? I will interview a girl right now and say, okay, what do you want? She say, oh, Dr. Sola, I'm so desperate. I just want a man that is nice and godly. I say, there is no one that is godly. All the godly ones is lie. Or if you see a man or a woman in church say, I'm already, it's a lie. Go to club on Friday. You will see who they are. So leave the issue of godly alone. Look for a decent person. Now, introduce a decent person to a Nigerian woman. She will change Nigerian English to American English. And then she will say, how much is he making? Well, he's not making a lot right now, but the future is bright. Oh, Dr. Sola, I pass. I said, I need to back to John and they're not good here. So one of them, I introduced a guy to him. He spoke with the guy for 4 days. He's handsome, but I need someone that is a professional. A carpenter is a professional. A bricklayer is a professional. Which one are you talking about? All right. So we disconnected the relationship. I connected the boy to another girl who is ready to work with him. 3 years down the road, the guy became a cybersecurity guy. They got married with 1 kid. You know where they now came across that young lady? They were coming from the mall. The boy was pushing the baby stuff. And I saw him. Today, he said, oh, how are you doing, Junior? How are you? He said, long time. He said, oh, who is this? He said, oh, this is my wife, and this is my daughter. And now I'm actually in cybersecurity. It's not my wife. She's a nurse. And she now called me, Dr. Sola. I said, what?
She called you.
I said, what? I said, are you still single? I said, I'm still single. I said, did you see that, brother? I said, yeah, it's making 6 figures salary now. Now, the problem with a lot of women right now is that they are looking for betojino, that is a well-cooked meal, but they will not understand. That well-cooked meal is not looking for you. They are looking for someone that is actually higher than you. So it's better for you to go Right there in the middle, get the raw material, build. Obama's wife said something. He said you are dating a restaurant manager, owner before. I didn't mean you married that restaurant owner. You could have been the first lady of a restaurant. And she said, no, you would have been president. Which means all what God will give to you is a raw material. Your responsibility as a woman is to build that raw material to wherever it is you want to get it to. My dad told me you can only find 40% of what you're looking for in a woman. Only 40. And I asked him, I said, how about the 60? He said, that's your responsibility. You take away whatever the Father has put into her. Remove those ones. Put your own self in her. Let her become 100% of you. I did that to my wife. The first thing I did, I disconnected her from my own family, from my family first, so that she would listen. I said, this is my direction I'm going on. If you want to go with me, it is now. If you are being distracted and your family are calling you that he's not rich, he doesn't have money. Your mommy said, is he a worry? And that you'll be taking care of my daughter. That worry and that is now money millions now. So she disconnected. Not like not talking to them, but she won't run her life by them. I disconnected too. Because whatever it is I'm advising her to do,
you stopped calling your mommy.
Huh?
You stopped calling your mommy.
Yeah. So we give up. And then what we did, we entered into a covenant. And that's one thing I want you guys to know. Once you get into a relationship, there must be a covenant. And that covenant is, I said, Lola, me and Shola, she is Lola. I said, Lola, you can slap me, punch me, bite me, do anything. But it's not going to end up in divorce. Allow me to be able to display my anger too, like you would do yours. At the end of the day, we'll talk about it, and then we'll move on. I said, listen, your family is expecting us to fail. My family are expecting us to fail. Let's disappoint them. I left that woman in Nigeria for 15 years. While I was there. She waited for me. You know why? I was a covenant. And every day by 7 o'clock in the morning, I would call and speak to her until 9 o'clock in the morning. You know what I was doing? I was pouring myself into her. God never spoke to Eve one time. But I found out that whatever God was saying to Adam, Eve was telling them. How did she know? Which means that the man is creating himself in the wife. Husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend is not a competition. It's a period of making, a making period, where you look at your wife's weakness and then you strengthen that part. Where you look at the weakness of your husband and you strengthen that part. But these days, it's more of competition than actually beauty. So, in essence, what I'm saying is that the women of today must understand. We know you are making money, we know you are brilliant, we know you are whatever it is you are, but the man is still the head. I don't care how much you're making. Still be able to be under a man, love him, care for him, respect him. And when you do that, I'm telling you, a crazy man will love you. Even if a crazy person will love you back. And the Lord bless us in Jesus' name.
Amen. Wow, wow, wow. Let's give it up for Dr. Shola. All right. So this next question is for Pastor Precious. So these days, and of course, please, I need your questions. So I'm going to pass the mic around the room. Dating these days has become a transaction. I know you're heavy on social media. We're all there. We see it on the social streets. You want my number? I'm going to send you cash app. Shuna. She's not what they're saying. You want to take me out on a date? Send you my account number. You know? And you know, on the men's side as well, it's like the things that they're looking for might not be the money, but the transactional currency for the men might be the way the girl looks, her physical assets, or the fact that she's going to give it up, you know, be intimate with them and things like that. So what are some of the things that we need to really adjust? Because I believe that dating has gone upside down. That's why marriages are definitely tumbling upside down. So what are some of the things that we really need to adjust? I mean, of course, you're a pastor, so maybe from a spiritual standpoint, but let's be very more, let's take it from a very, you know, like this Singles Connect is not about spirit coco. Well, you know, We have our religious beliefs and our spirituality, but I really want this platform to be where people can be very authentic, real, talk about real life issues, you know? So what are some of the things that we need to get right?
You see, one major thing is you must be very honest with yourself. It is not everybody that is your wife or that can be your wife.
Okay. So that my brothers in the back can hear.
Okay, can you hear me at the back? Okay. It's not everybody that can be your wife or that you can be in a relationship with. And you have to be honest with yourself from the beginning. If you are the type, he slapped you at the beginning of the relationship and you are like, oh, he will change you. You have to be honest and sincere with yourself. I was dating a particular lady. At that time, I was like, I think 37 years old. All my younger ones had already married. So everybody was already looking at me like, I think you got a problem. You have a problem that you are not disclosing. But I really wanted to get married. So there was this lady, we were good friends. At that time, I was in Nigeria, so I was building my first house. It was an estate around the Anopaja. So they had done the decking, the windows, just to finish some of the toilets, kitchen and all. So I took her there that I'm trying to rush this so that by the time we get married, we're going to move in here. And she went around and looked at it. She was, I like it, you spent a lot here. But I just wish she was around the Keja,
Island, Lekki,
baby.
you know.
I said, precious. You have carried another man's wife. Yes. So I said, the house that you are living now, who owns it? Is it your dad's house? Like, we live in Oklahoma, my dad rented it. I said, how old is your dad? He said, 70. I said, your dad is renting house at 70. And you are saying this to me. As I dropped her off at home, I called my parents and I will marry her. But for some people, they will still go ahead, oh, she doesn't mean it like that. I'm sure if I talk to her, she can. People don't change.
No.
So even though there was a lot of pressure on me, a lot of family members were already despising me, but I wouldn't go ahead because she's not my wife. Then, the next relationship, this was maybe like 4 months afterwards. It was sweet, it was nice. She was doing her master's in Unilag. So that evening, I wanted to go and check her in Unilag in the evening. So I was talking with her on the phone and starting my car, and it wasn't starting. I was in the office. So and she was hearing. So I'm like, okay, I'll just leave this car in the office. I'll follow someone to drop me around I had moved into my house then in Yanapaja. Okay, tomorrow I'll fix it and I'll come check you. So I got someone in the office and that was going to that area. So we were like maybe 5. I was sitting in front, 3 people were behind, and the driver. So and they were listening to like music and everybody was, after work. So she started calling me, bam, 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 bam. So I caught it and I'm like, let's chat. There's a lot of noise here. Suddenly she went quiet. I got home, I called. She didn't pick. The next day, she didn't pick. The day after, she didn't pick. 4th day, she didn't pick. 5th day, she didn't pick. Then I went to use someone's number. I called and she picked. I said, you are avoiding my call. She just cut it. And I said, precious. Something is doing you.
It's not you that is doing something.
So on the seventh day, I don't remember if I was on that call. I called. And I'm like, what happened? Oh, you think you are pretending that you don't know what happened? Where are you? I said, I'm in my house. Okay, I'm on my way. You see, I desperately wanted to get married. I had been embarrassed inside and outside, in family gathering. They would even recognize my younger ones and you don't even know what this one is doing. Okay. So I could have endured a lot of those things. So she came and sat down. I was cooking. So I'm like, are you going to eat yam? She said, yes. So I served her yam. I served egg. When I was serving, I was asking, what did I do? And they caught. She changed to pidgin English. You know, like all those home videos. Prior to that time, I didn't know I could get that switch. And they call my guy for phone. You know me.
What kind of English was she speaking before?
My guy,
What kind of English was she speaking before?
Nice. Proper. You say, do I know what is happening in that car? Do I know what? Oh. I have picked another person's wife. You see, somebody else will say, oh, you just sit down, explain it. 7 days, you didn't pick my call. So when she finished eating, I didn't talk, I had my bath. I said, I'm going to Ikeja area. I can drop you off on the way. So she entered the car, and I was driving. As I was driving, I was just thinking about my life, my destiny. I think I was already now 38 then. 40 was coming.
Oh
no
my
wife,
goodness.
nothing.
I know.
As we got to Ikeja bus stop, I parked and I said, get out of my car. I just switched. And that was it. So, okay, my wife. I remember when I got engaged to her and she was glad that we moved in, about the house.
In Yanapaja.
Yanapaja.
Okay.
Extremely excited about it.
All right.
We had the wedding. Oh, people were like, oh, we haven't finished paying for decoration. Oh, we haven't finished paying the people that are serving the food. I called her and I said, we don't have to keep her for everybody. Let's save our money so that we can buy our first land together. Remember, we're staying in the house I did, but I want us to own something together. We can save and buy our first house together. Even our honeymoon, let's move it like 2 months. Yeah. So we gathered that money. As we were finishing from reception, we got to the hotel. The lawyer that will help us buy the land met us in the hotel. All the money that they spent.
The night of your wedding?
Yes.
Wow.
Afternoon, evening, not night. So the lawyer came, all the money on stage, because when we're dancing and they're spraying dollar, I'll draw her close. Dance well. This is the same dollar.
I like this guy. It was a family business.
We gathered everything together. It was 6 million. We took it we bought that land. That land goes for like 65 million.
I've been divorced for 8 years now. And the first year I was just like by myself trying to figure things out. Just like, oh my God, what's happening? So what people don't understand is whether you filed for divorce or you got filed, the trauma is real on both sides. And I tell people that, they're like, actually, yes, I did decide to leave, but the trauma is real. So after 2 years, I said, I'm ready to marry. But I realized that I was so damaged in my head, even from that trauma, that if someone should come to me and want to talk to me, I had a list. It was like, this, can you do this? I tried that for a while. I was like, so if I won't even came, say, yeah, I will do everything. Eventually he was doing it, but he couldn't keep up. And then I chased him away. I'm like, please, and then I changed my strategy. But eventually, I about my story. It's about a lot of us, we're divorced, we're single, some people are even widowed, and they're trying to get out there to date and start life over and build relationship. But they don't even know how to approach the matter. So, yes.
Dating after divorce does become, it's harder. And unfortunately, it's harder for women. Only because we have a little bit more responsibilities and things to think about. I got separated when my ex filed, and he filed in 2021 and got married the same year.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go into that, but hey, some people can't be alone. I don't even fault it. However, for me, I had so many things that I had to do. I had to, first of all, process what just happened. Being married to somebody for 18 years is not a joke. I got married very young. I didn't expect to get divorced. So I had to process that. And then I had to heal. That's one critical thing. A lot of times we don't take the time to heal. And I love that you mentioned healing. Healing is very critical. If you don't heal, you're going to go cut on the person that didn't cause you to bleed. Right? You're going to go bleed on the person that didn't cut you. I'm sorry. Flip it. Right? And that's because you're carrying a lot of pain and trauma. You had expectations. That's because of the trauma that you were carrying. So when you have all that trauma built up, you're carrying that, have that solid, rigid expectation. And it becomes even harder. How many people can actually, as a matter of fact, meet all those expectations? It's going to be so hard. Right? So we have, first of all, you have to heal. Second, process, then you heal. And one important part that we miss, add value to yourself. When you add value to yourself, you'll be chased after. And I say this very confidently. Only because, yes, you might want to, the first thing, because you're lonely, you're going through all the pain. Man was not meant to be alone. Women was not meant to be alone. We miss that companionship. So we want to jump into dating right away. But you find out that, it's not going to make any difference. You're just going to probably break up again. That's why they say the percentage of people who divorce after a first met divorce is high. Because most of the time people are spontaneous, they want to pay back their partner, they want to show off, pet them, right? So yes, add value to yourself. Adding value can be anything. It can be professional, it can be changing your looks. If I show you guys my before when I was married, and it's more looking like a cliche now, like, oh, what I look like in marriage and versus. Marriage is a beautiful thing. But I find that when you take in a lot of pain and you're not dealing with it, you become a shadow of yourself in the marriage. We don't have time, but when we do get divorced, you heal, you take time, you lose weight, you take care of your skin, you do your hair, kind of thing, you look better, right? So yeah, it does become harder, but I tell you, there are things that you'll have to do that makes it easier, all right? Because again, if you don't follow that process, and it's true, you have to follow the process. You cannot skip one and just want to jump into it. Pastor Shola is the big time mentor. He was there with me along the way. Anytime I get in my lonely phase and I go to him and Pastor Shola, I think I'm ready today. But you're not ready. I'm not ready. See this married man telling me I'm not ready.
Oh my God, don't you just hate it when married people try to tell you that?
I see this one. He's still going to his wife telling me I'm not ready. But you know what? I didn't find it. And when he had watched me for about 5 years, I remember that day I sat with him on the floor and said, "You're ready to date now, go." And I knew it at that point that yes, I am ready. My confidence, high up there, right? So, please, I know the question is, why is it harder? It's harder because a lot of us skip the process. It's harder because we stay in that victim mindset. You are not a victim. Life happened to you, okay? What you decide to do with that pain is what matters. I don't say this a lot, but I will say it. I get proposed to every day. I'm a mother of 4. But I look at them like, this one I've come. Because why? When they see a woman that has value, they want to snatch you up. And you know the first thing they say to you? Can I please marry you? I'm not joking. And I don't take that like married. So that comes the question. Now, do I want to get married again?
Oh my goodness! And I think that's so true because you come full circle. I was just telling my sister, I said, sometimes I'm thinking, this thing that it seems like I used to think I wanted so much. And I was like, okay, well, now I know that I can have it. But it's like,
You know why? You've grown, you've healed, you know yourself better, you love yourself better, you know what you're worth, right? And you're not going to settle. Bringing us back to settling. Okay? Pastor Shola touched on it, and I'm going to round up real quickly. Sometimes, we're accomplished, and he also touched. There are a lot of women now who are doing way better than men. So is it the money we're looking for? Not really. Just really, sometimes you might have to change and reprioritize your priorities. What is important to you? Before it's somebody, a man that's making 1 million. Do I need a man that makes 1 million right now? No. Because I know my strength. I know where I'm at. I just need a man who's level-headed, who's decent, and we can build from where we both need. So let's not follow again. We have mature women. We're grown women. So why would we follow the narratives of young women, feminists, toxic feminist ideologists, Pastor Shola, I don't want me to go there, but
no, it's not.
Ooh,